Sam. Hi, folks. Dan Girolmo here. I'm going to give they call me Boomer. I am going to give you a short training here on how do I develop 30% growth a month in Karatbars. The basis around the plan is very simple. You have to know the dynamics that make it work, just as Karatbars in the 12-week plan was built on 4 pillars of truth about all economies and making money, which were 1, the movement of money, 2, the velocity, how fast that money moves, the frequency. Number 3, moving money toward you with a system and multiplying that back to you as well. And then from the basis, paying yourself first, which is exactly what we do in this system. Okay, now, understand your role in this. You are the vine. We are not a dandelion program. You've seen them all before. You know, bright, shiny flower, and all the bees come to it, and then the flower dies, and then they buzz to the next flower, and then they buzz to the next flower, and then they buzz to the next flower, and there's a bunch of dead bodies out there, dead bees, they said, because it doesn't work. And so what we need to know is Karatbars of the vine. We've never gone away, but we have gone through successive stages of growth without any debt. So the perception may be different than the reality. When we first got started, it was a cutting off the vine, a good stock vine, and we put it in good soil with good people. That's the key. I'd rather be in a mediocre deal with good people than a good deal with bad people, because you can always improve the deal. You can't improve the people. As we got started, the first year we only saw a few leaves on the vine, and then it looked like nothing was happening. And then the next season, we saw the vine branch out, and we saw some leaves, and then a little bit of fruit. And then it looked like it was going into, dormancy. And then the third season, we saw the vine expand rapidly. And we saw lots of fruit hanging from the vine. And many of you are experiencing that. And with the perception is this. Well, people saw that maybe Karatbars wasn't moving quickly. They only saw what was happening above the ground. They did not see the step-by-step, without any debt, progression and growth of the company as the root of that vine was drilling 75 feet in the ground. We are the vine, and you are a part of that vine. All success starts with you. You and your perception will start or stop you from taking action. You and your message will start or stop the duplication process. Do you value your own opinion? Now, here's what I want you to know. Duplication of retail. You want to be the best gold salesman or create residual income and acquire gold by duplication. Duplication is like the franchise model. It's a building block. You don't change the franchise system. That is the secret of wealth building. And just as I'm going to talk about the 12-week plan, there is dynamics. The question I have for you, is your group duplicating you? What is it that you're doing and setting up as your model to duplicate? Are you doing all of the 12-week plan? Is that where you're communicating them, or are you patronizing them? Here's the thing I know. I have seen changes when we got focused on commitment and accountability to each other. So this is what we do. We learn and teach and connect others how to develop 4,500 a week in 12 weeks and acquire gold free from a system. The system is a legitimate business plan and education. It's not an investment. We teach people the history of money in the correct way to save and move it. We connect people. That Are You a Connector video is an incredible tool for you to use, and you should, because it helps set the stage for the rest of the information that they're going to, the people that you introduce us to are going to follow. From that point on, you are programming the hard drive between their ears to accept information along those lines and know your information and tools and how they relate to each other. The result, if you follow the plan for 12 weeks, is a weekly passive residual income of $4,500 to $33,500 per week, and we get paid on Fridays, and we get paid once a month. People that bargain with the process, they're not really duplicating. They're kind of maybe innovating, or they're doing something else. They might be doing some form of retailing. You're either retailing or duplicating. Your objective in the system is to get people off their first personal finances and self-contain on their global MasterCard and global Karatbars e-wallet. And then to save money, we use the 1, 2.5, and 5 gram denominations of gold through Karatbars. It's gold money. Okay? That is the objective in a big self, to help people move off of the system that requires all of their time and their inability to outwork an exponential inflation in today's world. Now, here's task number 1. You need to become the brick. You are either doing it or you are not. There is no gray area at all. You're either doing it, all of task 1, or not. Now, here's task 1. You enroll, you get any package. It matters not which one you choose. It just matters that you have one of them. Then you're going to upload a couple of documents called a Know Your Customer, KYC, to establish, protect, and secure your identity to your private account. And then you're going to purchase 1 gram a week proactively. Put it on a calendar. 1 gram a week, every week for 12 weeks. After 12 weeks, I don't care what you do. It doesn't make any difference. Okay? And then in that is the model of the brick. You're either doing the brick or you're not. And there isn't any gray area. Now, you don't need anybody else's permission, opinion, or criticism. This you can do all by yourself. So, as I've said many times, to program your hard drive between yours, value your own opinion on this, or no one else will. Then the second part of the 12-week plan is how to multiply the system return back to you by connecting or teaming up with 2 people that value their own opinion and will produce the brick and will repeat task number 1 and then task number 2. That is the 12-week plan. And there is an identifier, which I talked about in several other trainings, is that you are looking for the 3 Ds: dream, desire, and determination. Okay? Those 3 things are unique and common in the people that participate and understand why they are what they do, and have the fortitude in which builds belief within the system. Here's task number 2. Task number 1 is the brick. Task number 2, you're going to team up with 2 people that repeat task number 1 and task number 2 and duplicate. You are going to build a foundational system that they will understand 100%. They will succeed if they follow these simple 2 tasks, and everybody could do it. There's no need to complicate it. It's really that truthful. Now, here's what many of you have asked. Well, what if they don't do it? Guess what? If you're following the 12-week plan, the 2 that you have in there are commit to this, or they're not your 2. Find 2 that will. And when you can show them that you're doing it, guess what? Then they'll know that you're doing it too. Be responsible for you and accountable to these other people. Let's just take an example. Let's just say you're Jim Gold. That's your username right there. Okay, now, are you doing all of task number 1 and task number 2? Are you doing enroll, package, KYC, and 1 gram a week for 12 weeks? After 12 weeks, I don't care what you do. And did you find 2 people that will do all of task number 1 and all of task number 2? Did you find them? Okay? That's how you identify. You never have to look more than at 14 different people to know whether this is working or not. You can see exactly what everybody purchases in your back office under the Units tab. And there's a search feature there that you can plug in their username and you can see. This gives you a measure of accountability and success in your business, and you can tell if somebody's actually doing what they are asking others to do and if they're setting a good example. This is where the rubber meets the road. Boomer is not holding anything back from you, and he wants you to be successful. This actually is also where belief is created that no matter what you do, if you follow this plan, you will be successful. And that is the flip side of that. And when you're doing it and you're showing other people how to do it and you can show them that you're doing it, guess what happens to your conviction on what you are doing? Man, it goes through the roof, and that is exactly what we saw in our business. And guess what? If your two are doing all of task number 1 and task number 2, remember what that is? All of task number 1 and all of task number 2. If their two aren't doing it, they're not your two. You only have to look. This is where you need to look. This far away, those gray circles. Is it duplicating there? If it is not, counsel with your senior partner upline. Counsel with them. This is why you must get them connected to the team, all 3 up from them, which means when you sponsor somebody and they say, I'm going to do the 12-week plan, get started immediately, and you should be on the phone, and you should have the know the numbers, because each one of you can see in your personal referrals tab, you can see your sponsor's information, and you should be connecting with them because these are the structure of the foundational of your skyscraper of residual income and the freedom for you, your family, and generational wealth creation. Right there. And so you should know who those people are and introduce them to them so they feel inclusive. Many of you are doing the right task, but you are missing that key component, which creates accountability to others in the system for mutual benefit. This isn't one person using another person. This is the fact that you're going to help each of these individuals as you build this for their foundational building block. And in turn, you lock arms with somebody like you're a team on a field. Who makes the money? The people with the jersey in the grandstands or the people with the jersey on the field? Who makes the money? Right? Now, realize not all enrolled with a package do the 12-week plan, so don't kid yourself. I'm giving you the upfront reality of not based on theory. I'm talking about what actually happens, which means I am programming your brain for success because a prepared mind knows what to do. An uninformed or unexplained mind gets confusion and they do nothing. Our 12-week plan is for serious affiliates. This is a voluntary program. The people you bring in are either willing to commit or they're not. Choose people who can commit. Everyone can. Not everybody will, correct? That's why I said, in a perfect world, this was happening. The world isn't perfect. What this does is this creates these create strong affiliates. Because guess what? If you have a challenge, if you've been through some financial hardship, if you go through the challenge to make that a reality, to complete and do your part, do you know what your conviction level is? And do you know what your empathy is for others that are having a hard time? Yeah, I know, man. You know, this is how it was for me, but this is where I found it. I didn't do this, and I didn't do this, and I delayed doing this, and that's where I found the money. And I got it, and I got it done. And guess what? I don't have to worry about that anymore. So your actual actions come from the way you program your brain. Change your programming and get over the bridge of belief and do what it takes to be a part of that. And you will set the example that your nonverbal communication will naturally come out of your body. You won't have to think it. It will be exude from it. And there is where that's the communication that helps people create the belief in a team effort. Now, do you value your own opinion? Do you value your own time? Remember when I said you cannot outwork an exponential inflation with a linear income? The whole purpose of this, and the reason I'm telling you is there's a dynamic in multiplication and duplication that gives you a return on your time investment. If you commit to 10 to 20 hours a week, and each committed to 10 to 20 hours a week, you'd have 150 hours of time duplicating just three people away from you. So understand where the time comes from. You leverage yourself with this system in duplication. And people that bargain with the process, as I say, they just waste time, effort, and send incorrect message. And then guess what? You're trying to hatch them to go do it instead of going to find 2 people that will do it. Go. Guess what? When you do that, then they know that you don't need them like a needy child. And that out of that whole world out there, there's more people. And in this day and age, right, the times we're living in now, you can go to work and hire yourself today if you don't have a job. You don't have to wait for some job to come. You can hire yourself today to go do work and create a residual income quickly if you follow the pattern. And find 2 people that value their own opinion and duplicate. If your 2 cannot commit to all of task number 1, they're not one of your 2. Bottom line. If any of your 2 have to wait to get started, they're not one of your 2. They can become your 3rd or more. Don't wait for them to get started. Many of you have waited for them to get started. They didn't get started, right? 6 birds were sitting on a limb. 3 decided to fly off. How many birds were left on the limb? 6, that's correct. Deciding ain't doing. Now, you can have some fun with this and laugh at yourself. It's a great way to understand the simplicity that you're not perfect either, and you shouldn't expect them to be perfect. But anybody with the heart and understanding and have the dreams, desire, and determination can commit to anything if they know why. They will find a way. And if your 2 do task 1, but they don't do task 2, they're not your 2 either. Don't wait. Find 2 that do. Buying 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, it doesn't matter what you do after that. Auto save kicks in. Understand the dynamics of buying 12 grams one time is 1 contract. There's some other ways that we get paid. We don't, in the 12-week plan, we don't tell you we get paid 7 ways. We only show you 2 ways we get paid. You get paid 7 ways. But if the 2 ways isn't enough for you, what difference does the other 5 ways make, correct? The 2 ways will give you a weekly paycheck. So there's also a dynamic of the frequency of the movement of money, which accelerates your earnings. Okay? Now, as I said, when you introduce new affiliates to their team, plug new people into the information system and tools. They need to know where to go. Are they on Skype? Can they get on Skype? Webcasts, training sites, marketing systems, help develop. They're either low-tech, they're high-tech, or no-tech. Somewhere in between, okay? Walk them through their back office to know where stuff can be found. Can you go, let me ask you a question. If you've been in this for 30 days, can you go and anybody ask you where to find information and you can go like this? Instantly tell them to get online, go here, log in your back office, go here, tell this. For instance, how do you tell if a delivery is on its way or not? Anybody know? Type it in there. You go to My Gold tab, and you go down to Pending Delivery Request. If it shows there, it hasn't hit the queue to be transported and picked up by Federal Express. If you don't see anything there, you're going to go, still under My Gold tab, you're going to go up to Transaction History, and you're going to scroll over to the right, and you're going to see Gold Deliveries, and that will tell you when it was picked up by Federal Express out of our office and on its way to you. Okay? Simple way. Do you know how to do that? That's the point. Do you know where to find the affiliate plan? Do you know where to find the affiliate terms and conditions? Do you know where to find out how many countries are open and if there's duties? Do you know all those different things? Do you know how to find your sponsors' information, your personal referral link, your shop link, your landing page, your K-Exchange link? all of those things. If you know where they're at, understand, when you become a teacher, you will really know this. Spend 10 minutes a day learning your back office and teach people how to do that and walk them through like a good sponsor to find where stuff is found. Get your team player set up properly. Be a good sponsor. Get their 3% discount card loaded onto their site immediately, so that when they buy gold, they buy it at a 3% preferred price. Anytime you buy a package, they're located as a brand new tab underneath the My Gold tab. Say digital bonus codes. Now, some people say, well, how do I know this is going to last long term? This is the point. The reason the 12-week plan works is very simple, and reason one of the dynamics of this is very important is that when you buy 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, you yourself, and communicate that idea over and over and over, and after 12 weeks, it doesn't even matter what you do. When you do that, this is the flow of the grams. In a perfect world where everybody just found 2 people to duplicate the program in their week 1, they never found another person. They only acquired 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, and they never acquired any more. From that point on, the people, for instance, the people that got in, and you've been in the 12-week plan for 7 weeks. Well, guess what? The people that joined your business in their first weeks in your 7 weeks, they still got 12 weeks to go. Which means that even if you stop buying it and the people in your week 12 stop buying it, you'd have a minimum of 163 cycles running through on your 50 side. 50 units on one side, 25 units on the other side, you cycle. How much money you make on that depends on the package level you have to pay you out. And guess what? This is the best part. We have to show that in a uniform manner, because how else are we going to show it? The beautiful part about this is when you have a better package than a bronze, it requires less people and less contract sales to make more money. It didn't take that many. You can make a significant income from that. Now, what happens after your 12 weeks? There's a function in here called autosave. And it really is like perpetual gold acquisition. Because by the end of the 12 weeks, you're definitely, no matter what happens in between there, anytime you start making at least 4,000 euros in your pending payout in that month, if you have not been on a monthly purchase, an automatic monthly purchase, and then filled in the other 3 weeks with a proactive purchase of gold. Proactive is the key. Don't wait for autosave to kick in. You proactively buy 1 gram a week for 12 weeks. And what happens after that, the company will literally kind of pay you in gold and cash. They will help you with your gold acquisition. So even if you did the 12 grams, 1 gram a week for 12 weeks, after 12 weeks, you're definitely going to be acquiring more than 4 grams a month. In that, which does what? 4 units a month per person multiplied out in a do the math. Man, this is like a no-brainer. In the contracts, many of you under the affiliate plan, when you go to your general tab, then to downloads, then you go choose your language, then you click on the PDF affiliate plan, and you will see in the unilevel bonuses that pays you out in your monthly override. In order to hit the director ranks, you need the number of sales, which are contracts, which means in their terminology worldwide, because communication is only what the other person perceives, their word for contract is like a sale in a purchase. It does not include deliveries. And also, in order to get in the pools, you're going to need vertrage, means contracts over there. Okay, you'll see that in the affiliate marketing plan. And these are just other ways that you get paid on top of everything else that you do, which is a natural occurrence. And understand, once you get the building block, you see that elephant right there? You're eventually all going to become VIPs if you didn't get to VIP initially and didn't leave any of the rest of the money on the table. VIP in the dual system is the body of the elephant. We have more and more ways that you can make money that we just show you. Get your dual system, your 12-week plan started, and guess what happens down the line? Guess what happens down the line? Somebody just brought in a large church. No names, I'm not going to tell you. We're in the process of looking to integrate this into the system with 1.4 million followers. Anybody who's in the dual system upline, even if they did not know these people, it didn't come from their chain of referrals. Once you're smart enough to know, immediately register an account and get your I call them an egg, that circle in the dual system, and get a package. Anything that comes from people that you talk to and they talk to, and people that fall under your dual system from people you never met or know before, had nothing to do with your chain of events because you were smart enough to get going now and not wait. When they pop in, you're going to get an overflow from all of that that makes so much sense. So get your rusty dusty going and move it. And the people, when I communicate that, we ain't getting any younger. It makes it simpler if you just do that. Now, all these different things you can choose that, guess what? It all adds on top of everything else you do. The online sales is just the toe down there, folks. Look at the toe. That's online sales of people buying some grams. The body of the elephant is the being a VIP in the dual system. Everything from there maximizes out the comp plan, and you're going to be one happy elephant in that. Let me tell you right now. Imagine being a good brick, building your foundation, finding some other people who are good bricks, and they build their foundation on top of your foundation. That's how it works. You're building it into the sky, man. And then somewhere along the way, somebody puts a floor on. That's a branding card that reaches, an organization of 100,000 people that everybody wants one. A network marketing company adds this on. A company offers a savings program to their employees. Generational baby accounts. You take a baby card. You go to a baby shower. Instead of giving them a blanket, a car seat, or clothes, which they're going to outgrow, you give them a baby card. And when they say, "What's that?" I said, "That's for your baby's future." Guess what every other person in that baby shower is going to be doing? Wow. And they're going to be thinking it's a highly emotional state. That is an awesome way for them to understand the significance of building wealth for their children. That's a 20-year account. That they can have a guardian account on that, and the grandparents and the parents and the aunts and the uncles can reward their heritage by giving them a gram in their account. Here and there, boom, 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 building them. They'll never need a loan to go get an education. They'll have it. Trusted licensed professional moving retirements account. We cannot talk about investments, anything like that, but we have our very first test case in process right now. We will let you know how it goes in a independent, trusted, licensed professional financial planning company that several of us have been working on behind the scenes for your benefit. You don't even know all the things we're trying to do to help everybody. Because you know why? You're our family. You are our family. You're our brothers and our sisters in this. And we are in for the long haul. And so we have many different things that we can help you in. Now, the value of the sizes. You know what? Buy 1 gram a week for 12 weeks. I don't care what you do after 12 weeks. Many of us, we're smart enough to know, fill your lifeboat with gold. Well, look at this. I made this little chart here so you can see the difference on how everything kind of pans out. Daily price is seen on the dashboard. The preferred price is when you add the 3% card onto yours. If you buy it within the system and on your system MasterCard, there isn't even an exchange fee on it, which means that as of November, 26 prices there. Which kind of card do you think I'm going to buy in order to get the most possible gold acquisition for the exchange from within our system? Correct? 5 gram cards. Right? It's 10 euros per gram less. But the plan shows 1 gram a week for 12 weeks. If you want to do 2.5 grams every week for 12 weeks, or you want to do 5 grams a week every week for 12 weeks, be my guest. But we show the 1 gram a week for 12 weeks because anybody with a shovel and a stethoscope can do that. And the key is this. Sponsor a couple of people. Sponsor your wife or spouse. Sponsor what we would call a family account where after you personally buy your 1 gram out of your account each week for 12 weeks, you can also buy through your wife or family account, in which case you will generate the commission and the units for your own purchases. I buy gold every week, and my sponsor gets a commission on that. But when I buy and exchange more gold, I'm buying it through either my wife's account or my children's account. Why? So that I can use the volume in order to make more money. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? So set one up. Set one up sooner than later. But always buy in your account 1 gram a week for 12 weeks and acquire it through the system. Long-term thinking. You know, Harold has shares in a very exclusive whirlpool. You cannot buy them. The only way you can acquire them, there's only 10,000 of them total. When the 10,000 are gone, that's it. These exclusive shares can only be given to by you, gifted to them to you, for you, or earned in an incentive contest. The only way you can acquire it. And so that is a whole separate side that makes sense. We do not sell shares. We only can be gifted them, or we can earn them as a gift in an incentive contest. And when people ask you about packages, you can refer back to this and let them know, look, you're already in somebody's package. What are you getting out of it? If you've been working in that old package of linear income, if you've been working at it for 10 or 15 years, don't you think if those tasks were going to get you retired, it would have done it by now? There isn't going to be pensions made for many people. And those ones that think they are, I got a news for you. Where do you think the government's going to get the money from that? Now, I'm kind of a, bare knuckles guy in a way, in terms of I don't want to sugarcoat too much, but I believe that you, as my brothers and sisters, should know the reality of your actions, and that is the best part. When you get that brilliant spark in you, nobody is going to stop you from telling people. No one. You value your own opinion. Guess what? You will stand strong with others that value their opinion, and be kind and gentle to the others that don't understand what you're doing. Eventually, remember, they are watching what you do, not what you say. Okay? And so understand, you can change everything. And don't fool yourself. Measure yourself. Take this chart, download this. This is the Boomer Success Chart. Why only go find 2? You want to build this thing big? If you want to build this thing big, it works on 2. But you want to create massive expansion, fill this chart out 1 time. Ask 100 people to take a look. Hey, you know what, Bill? Can I ask you for 3 minutes your undivided attention? You give me that? Great. And then what do you want? I want you to listen to this message. And so you play a message for him. Ask him, Bill, great message, huh? It's 2.5 minutes long. What's your level of interest on a scale of 1 to 10? You're a 7? Well, that to me, that means that you're interested, but you probably need to have some details and to be able to have some questions answered. That make sense to you? Yep. Okay, great. Do you have the flexibility in your schedule in order to see a live webcast at either 9 a.m. or 6 p.m. Pacific? Which would be better? 6 p.m.? Great. I'll tell you what. I'll call you at 5:45. We'll both get online. We'll both see this webcast, and then we'll see if we're looking along the same lines or not. And by the way, different presenters tell this in a different fashion, so we're going to look for the message and see if it makes sense. See if we look along the same line. Sound good to you? Great. I'll see you at 5:45. Lock them in. Here's the thing I know. You ask 100 people, 80 people won't even give you the time of day. That is exactly supposed to happen. If that's the case, you take their initials, you put them in that box, and you get a big fat red marker, and you draw an X in that. You are supposed to have 20 red X's in your sheet. If you don't have 20 X's in your red sheet, you must be a miracle worker. Either that or you're a secret agent and you're not asking anybody. Okay? Now, the people that say they're going to come, they listen to the message. Hey, that makes sense. Send me some information. Some of you are blasting out emails. Am I back? Can anybody hear me? Okay, look it. Enough of the recording.